Hello all, this is just a little extension from my last video that I posted. I wanted to go over a couple things that I forgot to mention in my other video. I'm going to go ahead and outline the neckline of this shirt, and I wanted to show you a couple other things. Forgive my angles on my camera here. I'm trying to hold a camera and do this at the same time. But I'm just going to go ahead and put some dots down along the neckline, and again, don't squeeze too hard, just a little tiny bit will be fine. Trust me, less glue is better than more glue when it comes to rhinestoning. The stones that I'm using here are Swarovski's number 20. They have all different sizes like I've said before, and 20 is very popular. They go down, gosh, like 6s for example are so super tiny. The glue stick that I'm using wouldn't even work to pick those up unless it was super sharp. There's other tools that I'll show you in other videos to pick up the super tiny ones. And then we've got the very big stones, which aren't really conducive to doing things such as words or outlining or scattering, let's say, on a shirt or a bag or a costume like that. Now, hold on, I have to open this jar of rhinestones, and I wanted to show you, again, excuse my videotaping, I'm trying to do this with one hand. I'm just going to go ahead and sprinkle a few onto my dish. I like using the dishes because, like I said in my other video, keeps them contained. If you put them on, let's say, on your table or your counter, they do tend to roll off onto the floor, and like me, if you have pets, they will probably want to play with them and eat them. That's not good. Keeps them contained. Also keeps the glue and the wax and anything else off of your table. And what I like best about it is that you'll notice that some of the rhinestones are face up and some are face down, and you'll see some people who rhinestone actually take the stones and physically turn them over with their fingers, and that takes forever. What I like about this is if you tap it, you'll notice a lot more stones flipped over. When it gets to the point where they're all upside down, you just do a couple taps, they're all right side up, and you're ready to go. And also if you have several colors, let's say you're doing a project that has multiple colors in it, I'm just using red right now, or scarlet, then it's great because every one of these little free, or that you get with your butter tops, they will separate your colors and keep them separated, which is always nice. That way they don't get all mixed up and together, which you don't want, because then you're fighting to see what colors that you need. And before your glue dries, what's nice about this glue, okay to wash it glue, is that it doesn't dry too quickly. If let's say I was using E6000 right now, the glue would have been dry already. So the thing good about E6000 is that, I'm going to start up here, is that let's say you want to rhinestone something and wear it that evening, or even within an hour, you can do that. So that's what's great about the E6000. However, it dries so quickly that you don't really have a whole lot of options to move your rhinestones around after you set them down. So there's advantages and disadvantages depending on the different types of glues. I can't really go over all the glues right now because there are so many. But my two favorites to use are the E6000 and the OK to Wash It. OK to Wash It obviously is okay to put it in the laundry and wash your clothes. The rhinestones should not fall off. Same thing with E6000. Your stones should not fall off with either one of those glues, and that's the whole purpose when you're putting rhinestones on clothes, or let's say your nails. You don't want to go in water or put them in water and have them fall off. So now if your wax is warm, it tends to pick up the stones better, so you can warm it up with your fingers, kind of clean it off. I do suggest sharpening your wax pencils. By the way, you can get these at Joann Fabrics or any other craft store. Same thing with the glue. And I didn't mention that in the last video, so I wanted to throw that in there. So scattering or setting the stones apart, I think it's a lot easier than, let's say, doing a perfectly straight line. I also didn't mention in the last video, but I always start in the center of the shirts. So like for example with my A, I started with my A first. The very tip of the A was where I started my line with my chalk. So I took my chalk line, I started with A, made sure it was center. Also you can get a ruler, set it down, making sure that your words are straight and not going crooked. So I recommend also maybe having a ruler on hand. It's not a bad idea to have a couple paper towels in case you get glue on your fingers. You can wipe it off. Just some little extra things you can have with you. And we're almost done here. Hope I've answered all your questions. If you do have any questions, feel free to put down comments and I will try to answer them. Again, this video is for beginners. Check out my other video. I do mention what glues not to use. Don't ever use any super glue. Super glue does not work for rhinestoning. I saw someone do that once, and it's bad because what happens is you squeeze a super glue, it's almost as thin as water, it soaks into the fabric, it spreads out, doesn't clump up like this glue does, doesn't coagulate, it spreads into the fabric and it turns the fabric hard, almost like cardboard, for several inches. So you could put a little tiny dot of super glue down and it's going to spread and make that whole section super hard. You don't want that. You want your fabric to be soft. So I suggest the OK to Wash It glue. Again, you can get that at Joann or Michael's or other craft stores. And I suggest Swarovski Rhinestones. They are the best quality that you can get. You can get these in online stores, and they come in gross of a gross is about 144, I believe, and I tend to get several gross because the more gross you get, the cheaper it is per gross. Again, these are size 20s. You can kind of see in comparison to my finger how big those are, and those are a very popular size. They have stones, let's say it's at Michael's or other craft stores, that are plastic. Those would be the last stone I would get. I would never want to get plastic stones. They don't shine as much, they're not as pretty, they look cheap, and they're really not that much less, maybe a few pennies less. It's not really worth it. You can also get glass stones. Those are a little bit better than plastic stones, but still they're not like crystals like these are. The crystals I think are a lot prettier, they shine more, they're much higher quality, and it's worth a few extra pennies to get the crystals. So if you have pets like I do and you're setting your stuff out to dry, I suggest covering it up with maybe a card or something, or put it in a room where they're not going to get to, because I have had my animals lay on top of my pieces, and luckily not too much damage was done, but you don't want them to mess anything up. So I just wanted to add the neckline and give you a few more pointers, and hope that helps you guys out. I had fun showing you, and I will put up more videos with some more complicated patterns and some more tips and ideas. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. I would love it, and I will hopefully get some more videos up soon. Thank you so much, and bye for now.